on turn 3 and they're at 2
On
life,
turn 3?
struggling for their life.
They have 5 cards. They have 4 cards in hand and 2 life. What is this?
4 life.
What is going on?
Life.
Pirate Kings, Pirate Queens, non-binary monarchs of the sea. Hello, how's it going? What's going on? Day 4, actually playing One Piece consistently. I'm very excited for this one. Normally, this would be torture for me. But before I get into why on either count, just quick look at the stats here. Shanks, number 1, again. 10 out of 10, again. It's fine. Other than that, nothing too crazy. Red Green Smoker's going up and down. I'm realizing Purple Black Luffy is still very much in the low tiers, but like it's having some consistent growth, which is just it's cool. Would I be taking it to Toronto, Montreal this weekend if I was up there? No, but like it's still cool. You know, maybe I would take it. Who knows? But anyway, today I need to play something in the higher tiers. As I've mentioned, my friend is back in town. She's a big Zoro fan. I've always hated Zoro, but another person I really enjoy is one of the biggest Zoro fans I know. I'm one of the worst Zoro players ever. He, in my mind, is one of the best. So my friend BlurrWolf is going to be joining for the stream. How you doing, man?
Hello.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. If you don't know him, this is the biggest Zoro devotee I've ever met. And I think the person who is most excited to play Zoro for the next year. If you catch my drift there. Yeah. So yeah, anything you want to tell the viewers about yourself?
Hello, my name is BlurrWolf. I've been playing this game since OPO1 at the start of the beginning of this game. I picked up Zoro since the beginning of this game and have continuously played it until now and will until rotation actually ends.
You would...
I hate Zoro. So the list we are playing with Zoro is not Zoo. We are playing what I would consider the traditional Zoro build, which is classic Zoro, where the package revolves around Carly, Nami, and Buggy, are very powerful engines.
Yeah. And this is interesting to me because me being so into the data of it, I automatically hone in on Zoro as the most quote-unquote successful deck. And of course, I have a very specific idea of what constitutes success from a mathematical metric standpoint, but from a player-to-player standpoint, and from a Zoro player to Zoro player standpoint. There will be some different takes. I'm very excited that you're a classic Zoro fan. I think the animal package is cool. I've heard your thoughts on it, which I guess I want to hear again in a second. But I'm just glad to see classic Zoro again. So actually, I've got the list up here. My understanding of it, I guess, is play little bodies, play searchers, generate as much efficiency as you can while generating as much resources as you can, utilizing your Magra, your Makino, Sanji if you get starved. End of the game, they're going to have to clear your board, and then that's when you go into the Zoro the Dragon, and you've got the Rad Beam, the Kick Course to just stay it out if your opponent's able to, I guess, persist through that. Then we've got some removal with the Mulgun, the Diable Jam. But yeah, anything else you have to say about it? If there's anything I'm misunderstanding about the deck, I would also love to hear within what you're willing to share, because you can't be spilling all the secret sauce.
Sure. It's decently accurate. The whole strategy and the idea is Zoo just cannot handle every single niche scenario that comes out of its way, or like it has some tech cards into it. It is a generically like aggro list that focuses heavily on aggro, to the point where it just doesn't have the defense to back it up in certain situations, and can sometimes be just shut out of the game if they can't high roll / tempo enough to get to the win quickly. With this build, though, it is a lot different than that. The idea is you have 12 very powerful searchers that grab every single card realistically in this deck right now. Most of the cards are searchable. There's like 8 non-searchable cards in this entire deck. The idea is you're going to play very powerful, low-cost units. You're going to use Makina and Makina to boost them up, of course, but you also have niche tech cards like, for example, Mulgun to be able to kill stuff, or Nico Robin to kill stuff off very efficiently and Dawn cheap. Yeah, but the idea is to be as Dawn efficient as humanly possible while maintaining as much tempo and aggression as possible while crafting the perfect hand for what you're versing. So it depends on matchup scenarios, really.
Okay. Gotcha. I think, yeah, for me, I think your complaint about Zoro is actually what I disliked about, I guess, about my idea of Zoro. I'm not like an aggro beat facing player. You know how much I've loved Enel in the past, as degenerate as that may have been. I enjoy sitting back for a second, and this isn't that either, but it seems like a more palatable version of Zoro for what I am used to. I think for me, I anticipate having challenges with knowing when to try and save my board and when to try and trade instead of just swinging face over and over and over again. That's what I'm going to
Yep.
be on the lookout for with myself here, and that's always been the hardest part of Zoro to me. Um,
Mhm.
yeah. Anything else that you want to add before we jump into some games?
Fuck Zero.
Fuck Zoro. Yeah, I actually. So one thing I forgot to mention.
Mm.
This list is from an article that BlurrWolf wrote for Metafy. I read it before this. I read it very quickly, so I don't know if I internalized everything. It was very helpful for my understanding of the deck. He's very good at describing his thoughts on the deck. It's cool getting his perspective. And I said I would love it if this video can get more people to get into the article. And I'm not going to say this to discourage you from buying the article, but this man is so committed to classic Zoro that he cares more about us saying fuck Zoro. So fuck Zoro. I'm so excited to have you here, Blair Wolf. This is going to be sick.
No. I'm
Um,
glad. Thank you for inviting me. This
dude,
is
I'm
great.
so excited.
Do you mind if I plug?
Oh my god, please, yes. You must.
Uh,
Simply must.
it,
Yes.
if I am doing anything towards the meta, do check out my Twitter on BlurRWolf TCG for updates.
Yeah, that will be linked in the description as well. And I'm trying not to spend a lot of time editing these, but I'll try and put a little something in there just to promote the homie.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. So wait, why am I going on Easter lobby? What is wrong with me? Okay, so we're gonna click play West. Let's see how long it takes to find a game. I was having some trouble getting into it last night. Oh, please wait for private lobby. I'm getting invited. And so we discussed this earlier. Blur, feel free to say whatever you want to say. Don't feel the need to help me out. If you have anything of interest, if you want to help me out, sure. This is just homie time. Experienced player's thoughts. Yeah. So no obligation whatsoever. We're just gonna have a cool time. Okay, we got our first game. We've got Red Green Smoker. Yeah. So Sim says first. I don't know if that's the case here. I mean, it looks like it's good for us either way. Now, here's where Sim stats get a little difficult because this is not for all. This is not just for classic, and a lot of these numbers are probably influenced by Zoro, and we say fuck Zoro here, so I'm probably not going to work with that. So let's see what we got in this opening hand. I've got the Magra, I've got the Zoro, I've got the Makino. I feel like this would be really nice if I had a Searcher. This feels more mid to late game. And they also might play things like the Kid and the Rosinante, so I don't even have a Mulligan. I think I'm going to mulligan this.
I agree.
Okay.
And such.
Yeah, it'd be like that. Okay. Sweet. Pass this first turn.
But yeah, I would say a classic Zoro still wants to go first against Smoker because as long as we get them off 5 kid early on, it is a very favorable matchup for us.
Okay. There's no reason to use a trigger there. Okay, so Dadan and 7K, I'm thinking. Or, well, let's see what we get with the Dadan, probably.
Very good.
Okay. Dadan to Nami. I like that. Cool. And then Zoro or Sanji. They're clearly not starving us. But we also have almost no counter. Yeah,
I will point something out. With this deck, you do want to stack how the bottom is, because you will go through your deck.
You are completely right, and I'm not used to being able to do that actually. So let's see. So I can either take the Zoro or the Sanji. I've got a Zoro. That was a misclick.
All good.
All right, so stacking the bottom. I feel like Makino at top. Sanji, 2Ks at top, Buggy at the bottom in case we get more events underneath that. What do you think?
I think this is fine. It
Yeah.
depends on personal things, but that's perfectly fine.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I will ask. I will ask him questions. He has no obligation to respond to me ever. Uh. Oh, I also could have swung before playing the Nami. I guess.
Yes, I was gonna mention that, but I was gonna see if you noticed it.
Yeah. 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 You're
Yeah.
completely right.
So what we did was as correct. We needed to see if Curly would find us a searcher to begin with. But as soon as we found a searcher, we know how the rest of our turn is going, so we can play around triggers as much as humanly possible after.
Yeah. You're totally right. 7. Cool. We're just gonna soak it in. Another curly. Hello.
Huge, huge.
Hello. Yo. What is this?
Curly is broken.
Yep. Should I? Okay. So now I am tempted to Marco this blocker. And then, but that's not giving me enough swings. I won't be able to swing at all. So I could go curly for 2. Then I have 4 down left, 1 on leader. There'll be a 4. This will be a 5. That'll be a 6-5-5. That'll be pretty good.
So I will talk here. There's a lot of options here, as with Classic has a lot of options. You can either go with board, swing everything, play Rush Zoro, and continuously apply the pressure. You could also play Curly the Dawn to see what you might find in the future. I think I personally would play Marco here and pop the blocker because next turn is gonna be Dragon, and that's another Marco will be guaranteed 7k afterwards. With Dragon
Mm,
coming up, which means you're gonna
that's
have two 7Ks and a 10K after, which is a lot of pressure that Smoker really can't deal with.
you're completely right. Okay. Okay. Cool. I love that.
Also, this does enable Mulgun in the future because Marco is a free 6K body.
Huge. Yeah, you're completely right. You are completely. I keep forgetting about that being the condition here. Because I'm so used to that just being the case. Okay.
Yeah,
So probably. I mean, they're not good 2K. No, just to be safe, we'll do that first.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's safer to just play Marco, guarantee pop it instead of
Yeah.
the possibility of them blocking, like,
Yeah.
even though it's a very low possibility.
You right. You right.
Mm. And for the viewers at home, if for the Nami pile, I would have grabbed a 2K counter Sanji.
Yeah, I was thinking that was better, but then I
No?
I tried to move them around. But
Yeah.
it'd be like
All
that.
good.
It'd be like that. Uh,
Hmm?
we love Sim.
Sim is the greatest.
Vergus. Okay. It looks like the smoker's off to a pretty slow start. So
Very. Since they don't even have a 5-drop smoker yet, yeah, this is like they have no pressure going on whatsoever, and we can keep taking these very cheap hits anyway because we want to be at 2 or less life for Radical Beam to be online,
yeah.
and we're a deck that's very okay with being on low life for a lot of the game.
I think that also scares me as a player. If I don't have like some bullshit like an Elsley ability or Queen or something like that.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah,
so that's
because NL is basically 1 life equals 4 life.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, and I'm also in a place where like I also always I'm like, oh well, I can efficiently counter now, so I should. But I'm just gonna not. I'm just gonna not.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think both of those options are. I do not believe he realizes how Mulligan works.
This player or
All
like
good. Yeah, he used Mulligan to -5 Marco, and that was his turn.
oh yeah, you are right. You are right.
All good. It is what it is. But yeah, I mean, again, the deck just has a lot of options. I for the last turn thing, you could also just 1K counter with Nico Robin there, just because Nico Robin's not a good card in this one matchup.
True.
Nico Robin is usually there to pop 2-drop Rosadante, but thanks to their leader effect, since Rosadante is part of the Navy
Hey,
package, it is above. Yeah, it is above the thing.
you're right. You're right. You're right. Teaches that you? LOL. That's a Zaya. Ha ha ha. All right. So looks like it's a dragon turn. Okay. So dragon,
Mhm.
2 to leader. These aren't gonna. We can just save them, I guess.
Yeah, it's the fact that they're potential attackers. Since we can basically play on curve here, since there's no tempo pressure that they're applying to us. Normally, Curly and Nami would be attacking into board or life already to be
Right.
pressurizing, but since he hasn't done anything in the early game, there's no point of us just slowing ourselves down when we can just be playing characters after characters and just continuously pressure him over the long game because we are gonna win the long game.
Valid. Valid. All right. So I guess we go So there's 7 here first. What you got? What you got? What you got? What you got? What you got?
They could have the 2-drop counter event where it +3 is the leader and minuses 2 are leader.
Mm-hmm.
So they can
Igloo.
easily counter the Marco attack and then also reduce our
Nullify them.
leader to not efficient stats. But it again, that only would matter if they already had something to represent pressure with, and since they don't have any, it doesn't even matter if they counteract efficiently here either. Yep,
Yep.
is the one I was talking about.
Cool.
You can still do 5 with lead.
Oh, I can. You're right.
Yep, all good.
Yep. I can get a rose
Yeah,
up.
there's Rosie.
I'm cool with that.
Yep. I mean, at this point, you're in such a phenomenal position to basically win the game, unless they like pressure super heavily. Like you're fine. I will also say against the green decks, obviously Hody Jones is something you have to watch out for.
Uh
So
huh.
this is not one of those matchups where Radical Beam is amazing, in particularly, but is still a very genetically good card. There's been times where against green decks, I've held up 2 extra Dawn on top of the amount of Radical Beams I actually have in hand, just to guarantee survive the crackback and then win the game on the next turn.
Okay.
Hmm?
Monet. What do you do again? Ah. -1
That's a
on my
cool card.
dragster. Oh.
Kill Dragon. Nice.
Ah.
Combo.
Very nice. Very nice.
I mean, thank God Mona is so very efficient for us to deal with because we can just play Dragon, swing into it for free with Curly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I argue just let Marco die to have an event, to use an event essentially as a 2K.
Yeah.
I would give up, yeah, I would give
Yeah.
up Diablo here,
Okay.
personally.
Cool. 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 Cool.
Mm.
Okay. What are we getting here? I also need to start paying attention to what they're searching to, because I'm trying to listen to you
Yes.
as well. There's the smoky.
Ah, there it is.
No counter. Love
Yeah, very, very late.
it. Yeah.
Uh, for the viewers at home, do remember that our Mulligan does not kill their smoker because their leader effect makes them naked.
Yes. Okay. So I can go dragon. Attach
Yep.
here. Curly's a 4. Nami's a 3. Put the other 2 on the Nami and just go. Or swing the Nami after the dragon.
I would say that you could just play Dragon for free regardless here and do the Curly attack, and afterwards, now we know what to do more. Because there's a lot of what ifs still. We don't know
Yeah.
if they will counter the 1K on them, but like if they don't, now we have options.
You're right. You're right. Okay. Cool. All right. So I like 5779. That seems pretty fun to me.
That's fine. I mean, you physically
Okay.
did not die on the crackback, realistically.
Yeah.
Unless he has some weird shenanigans going on in his own hand, I do not believe you can realistically die on
Yeah.
next turn anyway. And if they're taking a 5, that means they're the.
Yeah. It's looking decent. Yeah. Come on, 3-2K. Oh, I wanted to be 3-2Ks in the smoker. Come on. Okay.
Let's go.
Wow,
Okay, good shit. GG's.
Okay, wow. Crazy. Imagine winning a game with Zoro. All right. All right. Appreciate that.
I don't
Let's see.
have to. I do it at locals every time.
Yes, you do. All right, let me see how long was that game. 11 minutes 8 seconds. We might. This might be a 3-gamer. Let's see what happens.
There is a real world. Zoro is just that fast.
As long as I stop overthinking it, you know.
I will say that's. I would probably put that as like one of the bigger weaknesses for Zoro. Overthinking a lot. There's a lot of times where I've tried to teach this deck to my other friends, and they naturally overthink things. Like they hold up radical beams when they don't need to be holding up extra radical beams. What I would say is, if you're versing a deck and you believe you can win you can win the next following turn, just hold up enough radical beams for the worst case scenario of what is actually gonna happen, just to have the bare minimum you need for counter. and then go after their face and try and kill them, because you need to be as Dawn efficient with this deck as humanly possible to apply the
Mhm.
maximum amount of pressure. So
Okay.
you don't need to be always holding up every single Dawn for every single Radical Beam. You can just be using it for other stuff, like attacking.
Okay. Teach.
Okay.
Woo! Oh, we've got the Robin. Get rid of their Lafitte. Ooh, we got the buggy. I'm immediately excited, but there's also not a lot of extra gas here, and we don't have any way to get into characters. So I'm torn. Part of me wants to mulligan. How are you feeling?
This is a very low average, and I would mulligan this as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, I got excited. Ooh, okay. Oh,
Perfect.
Nami. Oh, hello. Good golly, Miss Nami. Well, Dodon could search pretty much anything, so I think we'll start with the Dodon. Get a probably a buggy. Uh,
Would you like me to guide you
no,
here?
this one I think I'll try the first couple turns of my own actually, because buggy could get
Oh,
us Jambe, and that's gonna be helpful in the very end. If I'm about to do something really bad,
sure, sure.
maybe let me know. If it's gonna be funny, don't let me know.
Oh, I
But
got
we'll
you,
see.
got
We'll
you.
see what happens here. I don't want to cheat you into a free coaching session.
Oh, good. I mean, if you asked me, I would.
I appreciate it. Okay, I got nothing there, so I think black hole. That's fine. So no on plays.
So this
Oh
is
yeah,
actually a very, very tough turn on actually knowing what to do. I think my article actually writes this perfectly, as much as I'm not
right.
trying to
Because
plug.
you're good. You're good. I
Uh,
also realized I
there we
can't
go.
use the effect when they have the effect. So yeah, that also I feel worse about that now. But yeah, whatever you got to
Sure.
say.
I would start with a 6K with leader, to their face to start us off.
Okay.
Because if they're going to attempt to stop our on play effects, perfect. So here's what I would actually do. I would actually swing 7 with Curly. My reasoning is,
Mm-hmm.
their next turn is gonna be focused on attempting kill Curly or whatever, or just developing more. We have a Marco for later down the line to have like essentially a free turn. If they're gonna discard every single turn, we're eventually gonna come up on this. The biggest
Mm.
issue about this is, sadly, our hand is like no events whatsoever. The thing is, though, they don't know that. That's like realistically they are very good out. I would say not play Rush Zoro here because it's very free for them to kill Rush Zoro. Actually, you want to save that for later down the line where we
Mm-hmm.
need to have an extra attacker. So what I would say is I would go 7 with Curly here because next turn the chances of them discarding again are still low. If they continuously discard, we're gonna be up on card advantage over time. And worst case scenario, if they do continuously discard and try and remove our stuff, we can eventually just play Buggy as a 1-drop vanilla with upsides still.
Gotcha. Do you think I should just let the
Mm.
curly go?
No, sorry,
Okay.
yeah, yes, Carly should. This deck is about cheap, efficient blockers essentially.
Cool.
As soon as they're done attacking, all there are is
I
blockers.
see. Okay.
Yeah.
Which I also actually does appeal to me very much. I
Mm.
do like the idea of that.
Now they're discarding Shira. If we were playing another thing right now, this Shira would be already be played here. Instead, they're playing a Jesus Burgess that we don't care about, and now they're doing Black Hole again. So what we could be doing is we have a lot of options. We could either attack 6K into their leader and establish a Marco that they don't know that they can, in their idea, might not be killable, so they're going to continuously set up. Or we can attempt to swarm out here in order to even put on more pressure. With like playing a buggy just because it's a buggy, having a rush Zoro out, pressuring them. This is how flexible that I can realistically be. We can even play 2 drops on G because we're still very healthy, and 2 drops on you is an activated main, which means they're realistically going to attack into it or try and use removal into it, which means we're continuously exchanging Dawn because Blackbeard cannot fight this over time battle by discarding every single turn anyway. We can. There's a lot of ways to pressurize. It is just up to the players how flexible this deck actually is.
I kind of like the idea of going Sanji and 2 1 drops in a 7K. Just to try and force as much removal of
Yeah,
attacking as I can. Yeah.
there's no wrong play with this deck. I'm like
Okay.
it just matters. Yeah, I mean, you're
But I
good.
want to be a good student.
That's a valid play.
Okay,
Yeah.
man. Yeah. We'll start with a 7. All right. It's funny. I just got
They
done
did
tutoring people for the day, and now I feel like you're my tutor.
hell. They did just use what's it called? They did just grab stronger as well with the stage. So we know they have one of their 2Ks at the very
Hmm.
least in hand.
Oh, so maybe I try and bait that out instead. I see.
Eventually, yes,
Yeah.
but they're at 2 life already. If we see one DM blade, the game is pretty much over from that point on. So it's very free for us.
I'm not going to
It's up to
continue
you
using this.
right
Yeah, I'm
now.
not
You can,
using any of them.
yeah,
I'm just like, if they decide not to black hole, which one will. This is
sure.
fine. Yeah.
Again, this is how you realistically efficiently deal with Blackbeard players by overwhelming swarm them, or yeah, using Marco. If we had an event in our hand already, like pre-started, I would say that Marco actually was probably one of the best choice here, because the Blackbeard is known to not have trash effects, but they are known for like black hole combo. But the
Mm-hmm.
only way black hole realistically works with their side of the field is using it with like stronger, which means they're giving up a 2K and a black hole to efficiently deal with our Marco, which means they have even less counter in hand to attempt to kill us on the crackback, which is very efficient for us.
Take that. Take that. Okay, we got the Ravine. That's pretty cool.
Yoo-hoo.
Oh, that's
There you
lovely.
go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're gonna continuously fetch return. So this is where we need to be like very aggressive on their lives right now, because we need to put them on some type of pressure.
Mm-hmm. So I guess we could go Dragon, but that's not going to get these to attack. So I feel like we could do double Zoro.
So general premise would be attack with your card board before playing rush cards first. But
Oh, you're
that's
completely
a
right.
yeah, valid idea. Mm.
Yeah. So one more to get this to 5, 2 more to get this to 5, 3. Okay, so we could do one Zoro. If I think, okay, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. Another Zoro. So yeah, it could be 5, 5, 7, 7 potentially. Let's see what happens.
So yeah.
Yeah. Will, were you gonna say
No,
something?
no, you're good. You're good. You're good. That math isn't wrong. No, no, you're good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Yeah, I
There's
do.
a lot of ideas I was gonna mention, but yeah, that is extremely valid.
I love my math.
It
You know.
just drains their hands. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
this method drains their hands
Did they
extremely
get?
well.
And they did not go the stronger, so I could. I think I'll
No.
do 6K, try and get that out, then play the
Yep.
Zoro. Yeah.
Okay, they're
Oh.
still not using it. That's cool.
Do I
So, do you
really
have
need
two
a
routes right
Ravine?
now?
Sorry, what?
No, you really don't need to. I
Yeah.
think you have enough. You just need to counter out of the one of three attacks here, and you have enough counter naturally to do that. So you have two routes right now. You could again play buggy for the future turn and just only go 6 here, or go 7 and lead and get 2 cards here. Again, this deck is very personally up to you right now.
I think I want to go 6K. Weirdly enough.
Fair.
Okay, that was a
That's
Shiri.
still not the stronger 2K,
Still
so we
not. Yeah.
know they actually have a stronger
Yeah.
still in their hand.
This is crazy.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of
Okay.
valid plays right now.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wow, this is really
Mm.
Zoro. Man, Zoro's fun.
Yeah.
What? What am I saying? I like Zoro. What?
Zoro is really good.
Ari,
I
what are you
love
doing
it.
to me? I like Zoro now. What? Okay.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Funny enough, if they miss sequence right now and they attack Shuri into Buggy, Shuri is a slash type.
Ah, yes. I do remember you talking about
Mm.
that. It's very very silly to me. And then
My era begins. Let's see what they get from my era. So they did pitch the stronger to stage, which tells us a lot here actually. So you have two routes right now. You can actually counter out of this, and I'm pretty sure Matt is almost guaranteed to win here. You also don't even have to counter out of this because you have a radical beam. They physically cannot kill it on the crackback, and the fear of the emblem might just put them at a point where they have to go for it, as like they have not introduced too much counter. Again, this deck's so flexible that there's almost no wrong bets
yeah, I think in
with how
this
you play
point,
this.
for once, I think I want to try and see if I can get another game in. So I think I'm gonna
Yeah.
counter it.
With that being said, they do have 4 Dawn up. This could be 2 Vasco shots. This could be the possibility of 2 Vasco shots.
Yeah, so
It just depends on what they do.
I won't make. So
If
I
they
want
do
my
play
character
2
on board.
Vasco shots, I'm pretty sure we lose.
Let's see what happens. 8. Okay. 9. What you got?
Let's see what happens.
Oh,
Ooh. Okay, they really want Zoro. That's valid. True, valid.
cool.
Okay, they have 2 cards in hand.
I just can go
They did
nine
not
nine.
page for leader effect, so you have guaranteed game.
Yeah, I'm fucking. Oh yeah, let's go 9 first.
Hmm? Unless those cards are exactly 2K,
Oh, those are all
2K, and
2Ks.
2K.
Yeah,
Yep.
they'd be just over. Let's see what happens. Come on. Yeah, what you got?
Oh. Oh my
Oh,
God.
okay.
Okay. One
I
point to
goofed it.
Blackbird.
All right.
All good. All good. It is what it is.
Yeah,
Uh, and they got 10 costs each out of stage. Actually, funny enough. If
that's
they
pretty
play
funny.
that, they lose. Obviously.
Okay, so ideally I would have left one open for the rad beam.
Sure.
Yeah.
Ideally, there's more things you could do on possible like attacking sequencing, to possibly just guarantee it in the mid game more. But
Oh, okay,
I
yeah.
mean, you play it very fine. Yeah.
That doesn't.
No, the trigger
That
is
would be pretty
sadly
cool.
very bad. Good shit though. I mean, the Blackbird got very
Yeah.
lucky on the life also being a 2K while having two Ks in hand. That was beautiful though.
All right. One more.
Hell yeah.
One more. I'm having fun. Stop clicking Western. All right. Buddy, come on. All right. Uno mas.
So for possibilities on attacking that mid game, for example,
Yeah.
uh, so there was the route of possibly playing Marco just to have a guaranteed ish body on the field. If not, the Sanji, Buggy, Nami play or Magra was valid. For the attacking sequence, though, you did have even if they did stop on play effects, you could have used Makino very aggressively to make Buggy a 7K and like test swing a 7K into lead to
Yeah.
see what possibly they have on counter.
You're totally
And then
right.
you'll have one instead of since you have, at least have one rush Zoro, you could have just but you could have attacked another 7K with leader and then another 7K with only one of the rush Zoros holding up a Dawn, and then guarantee going for it next turn. Like there is a lot of routes of attacking with this deck. Thankfully,
Okay. This is what
there's
I'm
no
gonna have
wrong.
to like. I'm gonna have to rewatch the tape, re-listen to the tape because
Mm?
you're spitting right now. All right, we got Piss Kid. And I'm pissed if people call him
This
Piss
is
Kid.
actually one of the harder matchups for Zoro,
Yeah. All right.
and that is not a hand.
No. Even I can tell
Not
that's
terrible
not it.
actually. That is
Okay.
not terrible. That is very good actually.
Okay. I might be leaning on you for this one. We'll see what happens.
Yep. Glad to be here.
It's good to have you. It's really nice. Yeah, like it's again like I don't get a chance to like go to locals very often, so like just getting like other people to talk to about the game and get in their heads too. I think because that's the one thing I don't like about sim testing is just not
I would
having
say
that
this
person.
is borderline a god hand.
Yeah. Do I go double buggy? I kind of want double
I think
boog it.
you know what's funny. I do believe this is the niche scenario where double boogie is just better than curly because we have so many Magros that they're gonna spend basically the whole game dealing with
Yeah.
this.
Do they play slash types? Do they have maybe
They
there's
do,
Zoro?
but their slash types are realistically good into boogie because they're effects more than anything.
Okay. Oh, the beam.
The beam is always good.
The beam.
So, as an example on how to bottom deck this one, since
Oh, okay.
Buggy Guarantee has a searchable card in this pile, I would say Buggy is like the strongest card here. Like you want to draw into.
Oh, I see.
And then, yeah, that's the idea. And then Buggy, Machina, all that is fine. It doesn't matter afterwards, realistically, because Buggy has a searchable hit in that pile.
I see. I
This is
was
why it makes
thinking.
Buggy great.
I thought Machina was just so good because of the activate main potential, but
Sure.
yeah, getting this is yeah.
Yeah. You gotta think about the bottom pile is this. Later, this is gonna be like a late game draw that you're gonna have. What would you want to draw as a best possibility for late game? And Buggy's definitely up there.
True. And we have a second Diablo in deck, and this deck is, yeah.
Hmm?
Okay. Disgusting.
Perfect. They're
I
to
love
a
it.
very slow start.
Beautiful.
And Buggy, being an ultra efficient unit right now because Monkey D. Luffy can't even kill it for free. They need to spend a Dawn under it because it's a 2K. We have a
Beautiful.
3K body. So again, against Kid, we're actually the deck that's on timer, which sounds insane. But since we didn't do Curly early on, which means we are almost guaranteed playing towards a Mogger strategy.
Okay. As in, start
As
moggering
in,
now or like?
As in, we're gonna have 3 7K attacks on turn 2.
Fucking sick.
Which is insane amounts of aggression. And the best part is, even if they spend their entire turn dealing with Buggy, we have another Mogger after that to boost the original Moggers.
That's insane! That's
Yeah.
insane! And so I guess I'm so used to like Opio. So I'm used to be like, oh, save the Mogger for the very end. Have that be like the finishing blow. But that's
No,
that's so crazy.
Mogra is used for 2 things. It is used for a mid-range tool to continuously pressure and harass the enemy as much as humanly possible with just chaining and like doing this. Like I would be doing this exact same strategy if I could against every purple Luffy player, just to make sure that they can't use leader efficiently. On turn 2, that 3 life, and there's still 1 more 7K attack coming at their face.
This is insane.
This is an insane amount of aggression.
Fuck. Okay, I guess I'll not.
But here's the thing: we can pivot. Like it doesn't matter. 1 Dawn is such a good pivot moment still for us.
That's crazy. Ooh.
Yep. And then Rush Zoro.
Yep.
Oh. Again.
Oh, I forgot to bottom deck it. Oh.
All good.
Oh well. I'm just so excited that I'm like, no.
On turn 2, we saw out of the 40 cards in our deck, we saw 15 cards. We already know more than we know like around less than half our decks, and we know what possibly could be in our lives already from this point on. Not that we're gonna get to our lives realistically, because they need to just spend basically this whole turn dealing with buggies, and then on our turn we just swing with everything on board again, and we continuously do that until we need to use rush cards. Like we don't have to use rush cards because our entire board just attacks super efficiently, and they're all blockers. They can just die. We don't really care about it. They're so efficient at dying as well. It's insane. For 1 Dawn. This is how efficient our deck is. They had to use a 5 Dawn play, go down a card on top of that to deal with a 1 cost.
So I guess we're playing another Magra. It looks like. Magras on Magras.
And we have enough attack. So right now we have enough attack for a 5K, a 5K, a 6K, and a 6K. We have 4 attacks still. And then they need to spend their entire turn dealing with our entire board while setting up defensives again.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Thank God reversing one of our worst matchups, or this would generally be like not even close. I think Pisket can get out of what we're doing right now, but very hard to deal with. Like against like P Luffy, this is like the ideal start you're looking for of a bunch of 1 cost drops into Mogras to make sure that leader effect is basically off, and then just continuously harass and pressure. So that I can never play Luffy Taro comfortably.
What the hell is this?
We're on turn 3, and they're at 2 life, struggling for their life.
They have 5 cards. They have 4 cards in hand and 2 life. What is this?
4 life.
What is going on?
Life, 6 cards in hand, and a Diamble Jombe that they have to worry about. They're not even actually at 2 life. They're actually at 1 life because we have Diamble Jombe. Okay.
Now they're 2 life. Now they're 2 life.
This kid can deal with this. What did they put on their thing? They put 8-drop kid. I'm pretty sure is that it, right?
Add Eustace kid. Yeah.
Yep. Perfect. Funny enough, we could use a 2K counter here to save it because that will guarantee save us some Manga.
I do like that.
I wouldn't use the 1K counter because we want Curly to reestablish board after everything's said and done. So it's okay to give us the 2K here, just because we're realistically not using Sanji here, because again they're just dealing with our board too much that they can't even hit our life. It's like accidental starve is what I would call it.
Okay, yeah.
Because again they're too busy dealing with our boards to actually deal with what's really important.
Okay.
They're at 3 cards right now. I would say we start off with a Curly here just to see what our future turns are going to be like. We also want to continuously set up perfect Magra.
Moggies.
Huge.
What's up, Maggers? All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. So Curly on bottom for what we had before. Rad Beam. What do you think of this?
This is fine. I would say, like, since Carly doesn't have a searchable target, you can either do 2 events on top, 2 Carlys at the bottom, 2 Carlys on top, 2 events at the bottom, or mix or match. It doesn't really matter just because we know Carly doesn't have a hittable target, sadly, in the
Yeah.
spell. So I would say probably Radical Beam is our highest priority target for late game that we want to draw into. So
Yeah.
I would say Radical Beam is fine.
Word. Okay. And
Alright,
then...
now we know we have a Maga, which is huge. There's 2 routes here. We could just not even hit face. We could just kill their bodies and turn off leader effect for next turn and not give it a blocker because they need to somehow cycle throughout life. This is a possibility. You could also go after life and continuously still harass and pressure them. Either route is fine. Our hand right now supports the idea of aggression, I would say, a little more right now than the idea of just stopping their leader effect from happening. With that being said, I do believe we can just play a free Nami here still, just to see what we are getting into. And we also want future attackers as well. Nami is a future attacker. I would say Radical Beam or Batman is fine here. There is a
Yeah.
world where Batman is better than there's a world where Batman is better than Radical Beam here because we're just not realistically not getting to the point of 2 or less life yet.
This
It's gonna be a
feels...
while before we get to 2 or less life.
Which is still insane to me. Yeah. You're making me overcome my prejudice against Zoro. Once again.
I'm glad
Alright.
to hear.
I'm feeling good about
So
this.
I
Oh,
would attach it. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
okay. Okay.
There's a thing that you could also put Carly on the top because we know we have 2 guaranteed hits coming up as well. That
True.
part doesn't really matter. I would attach a Dawn under a leader, and I would actually go. I would use one of the attackers to go into Luffy here
Yeah, yep.
because that's a consistent attacker that's gonna come our board every single time, and they just can't use that resource to continuously like freely do this. So here's a neat thing we could do here. We could either split right now on the amount of attackers, the split the numbers here, or in my eyes, we could actually go 6 with our leader to a life. They're more likely going to take that because they want to have an enabled leader effect for next turn as well, or they might block. Like the chances are very low. Yeah. See, now we could play a Magar on Nami and make it a 9k, which means they have to give us another resource. They have to block and give us a 1k
What the
to
hell?
actually counter out of this properly. And if they don't have a one, it's just like setting them further back more. They're giving they're still took a life. Yep, exactly. They are
Brother.
technically at 0 life right now because we have Diamond Jamba. The only way they can realistically win this game is continuously like having 7-drop law over and over and over again and praying right now more than anything. Perfect. They have the exact thing they realistically need in order to continuously pressure. I would just let board die,
Yeah,
take the
yeah,
hit if
we've
they
got-
actually go for life. It doesn't really matter. We're in such an oppressive position.
This
That's
is
all okay with us.
stupid. In the best way.
I would say the main goal of our next turn, since we have Diable Jambe, is to attempt to put them at 0 life if humanly possible, and pray they don't have another 7-drop law or like 10-drop base. But we don't want to make Diable our only card to be able to win because we want to consistently set up next turn pressure as well. We want to have a future characters to attack with in life. I would say you can swing for the bare minimum on all your characters right now, and also play Rush Zoro, and either set up again with playing a 2-class Sandry or holding up Radical Beams if you believe you're going to die.
Yeah.
But I would definitely start off with doing a 5k with Harley first to see how they would react to that.
Yep.
Perfect. And if they're
Fucking
giving
run.
us a 2k, that means 5ks are super lethal
Yeah.
against them.
My goodness.
They might even block here, honestly, for this 5k attack, which I can't even blame them. It looks like their hand is terrible, sadly.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Make Jambe the move. Make Jambe the move.
I don't know what the 2 Dawn holding back is for, but at the same time, I believe they just had 2 extra Dawn to work with because they knew we're going to take a 9k attack, and it really doesn't matter. So, you have routes right now. I would actually start with a 7k attack lead here first.
Really? Okay.
because a 6K doesn't really matter. They've established that
Yeah.
that if they're giving us a 2K for a 5K, that means they can easily give us a 2K for a 7K.
Hmm.
7K right now gives us more pressure because they either have to give out 2 cards right now to counter out the 7K, which means our 6K with Rush Zoro actually is more lethal. But now since they took, I would actually play a Sanji, hold up one down for Radical Beam, just
Yeah.
to make sure we live on the next crackback. And
Yeah.
then next turn we have a Sanji, a Rush Zoro, a Diable, a Mulgun, and like everything to work with still.
My God.
Unless they have 7-drop Law or 10-drop Ace to gain a life, they're in a very bad spot. Again, in every other leader, if we verse any other leader, this game already would be over like a turn ago or on this turn. But since we're versing Pisket that can actually actively gain life while also exuding pressure, like even if they didn't have the best start, Pisket can deal with what we have done. But most leaders actually could not deal with what we have done so far. They can't handle this amount of pressure. Most meta leaders cannot handle this amount of pressure.
That was all 4 Maga, right? Holy.
Correct.
Yeah, my. Yeah, I don't want to be on the other side
Yeah.
of this. Jesus.
No, you do not. You can let board die. Again, we've come to the establishing realization that Rush Zoro plus 2-cost Sanji, yeah, is
It's enough.
basically are out,
Yeah.
and with the Amble, yeah, it looks like they have Ace. It looks like they have 10-drop Ace, and that's what they're playing for.
Mhm.
I believe we can beat 10-drop Ace, but it depends. Depends on their hand. Maybe they're secretly actually holding a lot of counter, and they just don't want to reveal that information.
Which is what I was wondering about. That's no.
That's whatever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. 10-drop Ace. Here's the thing, we will get to know what their life is because they're most likely gonna give blocker to login. Oh, look at that. They did in fact do exactly what we said. Okay, we know life isn't a trigger, so I would say to be as dawn efficient as humanly possible, I would play a Rush Zoro and activate Sanji's effect to see what our life is. Oh, we have 2 Diamble Jombies.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I thought we could just.
Hilarious.
Yeah. I was gonna listen to you, honestly.
Perfect. Okay, my bad. I
You're
deeply apologize.
you're good.
I
Nah,
realized,
Holmes.
I'm
You're
sorry.
fine.
Uh,
Let me put one here.
okay, if that's the case, then we could probably get away with a 7K on Rush Zoro. Because we know that trigger doesn't stop our entire game plan, and they're most likely going to give us a counter here because this is an attack they actually can counter out of. It all just depends. Yep, okay. So I would actually do Diable on our 2-cost Sanji and go 8 into face.
Jesus. So that's 3-3.
Just
Yeah.
no, that's already 8. That was already 8.
My bad.
Okay. Wait. No. Attack. You can make it
Sorry,
fixes.
right,
Do
right,
Diablo
right.
on leader and go 8.
Yeah,
into
there.
face.
Yeah. Now they know.
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah.
Yep. They know now,
Math
but
is hard.
like it's fine. Yeah.
Oh,
because
because he had the
Sanji's
2. He
effect.
had 2 already. Not.
Yeah,
not one
exactly.
already.
Now he's now it's an unblockable 9.
That's God. That's insane.
Good. GG's.
My lord. My word. Wow. Thank you so much for joining me for this. Wow.
Even your opponent said GG big brain.
That's you. Ari. Okay, so real quick, this I was gonna say I was not look. Would you ever coach people? Like if someone sees this and like, hey, I want to get better at Zoro, like, would you be cool if they asked you for that?
Yeah, I don't mind. I'm just like I don't know if there's enough of a market for that for me to like go out of my like for people to care realistically.
Are you sick of Zoro? Do you want to overwhelm your opponent and just be as efficient as possible? Do you like the cut of this guy's jib? I'm having a great. I hate Zoro. I hate Zoro. I hated Zoro. Now he's cool, and it's because of BlurrWolf. So I'm just saying, like, if you're like me, yeah. Sorry for the wacky commercial, but yeah,
you're good. I appreciate it. No. I'm not against coaching other people. The problem with coaching with classic Zoro, there's just too many lines. There's no real misplay. There's just lines after lines after lines. And it depends on each person's individuality, like on how they actually want to get to those lines. Like even my list, I practiced a lot, obviously, but like it's not like you can go and look at the list and you can make changes still. not everything is hard locked. Like this is a very like deck that can actually like be adapted to any playstyle realistically whatsoever. This is the version I came up with with this current meta, but like as meta evolves and like we get more red cards, you can obviously adapt this or power creep this or change this in any way you see fit. I love this deck personally and believe that the idea of having a toolbox aggro deck that can just do any sort of line depending on what your opponent is trying to do and going after the opponent's leader's weakness is how I do this. For example, Zoro sucks into body. Yet I actually really love that matchup because it's so easy to grab Mulligan, apply pressure, set up life, set up resources, and then just kill everything Bonnie plays while making them at 0 life. Like that's an example.
I appreciate you so much. No,
I
just
love
like
you, Obi.
I love you,
Yeah.
homie. Like just the sheer like you only get to a place like this if you like truly love your leader and like you are truly like I just
I
like it's just
love.
so evident how much time and care you have put into becoming a Zoro master and I just
Mm,
I'm slightly jealous but I am more in awe. Um
hell.
so yeah, dude, you are the best. Any other shout outs, any other pieces you want to say before we finish up?
Uh, Not much. Check out my Twitter. I add the homies every time I go locals, so make sure to check them out as well.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever want to DM me or hit me up, my Discord is BlurrWolf. My Twitter is there as well. You can always shoot me a message. I don't mind. I try and reply to every comment I can under my under when I post the uploaded stuff. So if you got any questions, just let me know.
Ari, thank you so much. You're the most
Of course.
wholesome, and I am. I know that we've had our differences on the subject, but I will be very sad when Zoro rotates for your sake
No, it's
specifically.
fine. Honestly, you are one of the reasons that I have stopped crashing out over rotation.
Sometimes you gotta crash out a rotation, though. You know, so we both had crash outs, and they're both
Yeah,
valid. You know,
exactly.
we both needed to.
I
Yeah.
I'm like a part of me realized I was overreacting, but a part of me was like, I'm still pretty mad at what
Yeah.
they're doing, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I think Bandel will probably have some surprises for us. Just hot take. All
Yeah,
right.
I'm just gonna be like, I just gotta trust Bandai on what they're doing.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much again. Appreciate you, man. Please check this guy out. Please support him. He's one of the most wholesome people ever. If you enjoyed this, let me know. If there are decks you want to see me play, let me know. If you want to come back to Zoro and see how I do without the training wheels, let me know. Thank you so much. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.